The Strange Winter of 536 Part 1. About 1500 years ago, an event, strange and terrifying, occurred on Earth. Although no one could explain the exact cause at that time, we have gradually uncovered alarming clues about the catastrophe it caused. Known as the Strange Winter of 536, this event left a deep mark in history, affecting the global climate and leading to one of the darkest periods in human history. For 18 months, Earth entered a bizarre state that no one could understand, with the sky covered by a thick layer of smoke, no sunlight, and the entire planet immersed in darkness. Winter lasted for many years, causing terrible natural disasters, droughts, floods, famine, and death ravaged everywhere. During this period, many great civilizations could not withstand the devastation of this strange event. Great cities were abandoned, millions of people died from famine and disease, and no one could understand what was happening. This event created a wave of panic, skepticism, and unprecedented fear as humanity faced the threat of extinction and the harshness of nature. The murky sky. One of the most striking features of the Strange Winter of 536 was the murky sky, devoid of sunlight for a prolonged period. People living at that time, particularly in Europe and the Middle East, described the sky as covered with a thick layer of smoke, making everything appear dim. The sun was invisible, and people could not even see their own shadows during the day. The world seemed to be painted in an eternal shade of gray. Historical records from that period noted that sunlight became weak and pale, resembling the light of the moon. An ancient historian, Procopius, described it as, "The sun shone but lacked brightness, resembling the faint light of the moon." People living in those days described a world without light, a sight that is hard to imagine, where the sun had almost ceased to exist. The worst year, 536. To understand the severity of this catastrophe, we need to look into climate studies. Scientists have analyzed plant samples, growth rings in trees, and found that 536 was a particularly significant year in natural history. Every year, trees form new layers of wood, called growth rings, which record changes in their environment. Researchers found that the growth rings in trees from 536 were unusually narrow, indicating that plants could not grow normally due to extremely harsh conditions. This shows a profound shift in the climate, a significant drop in temperature, lack of sunlight, or even a lack of water. Scientists believe that the main cause of this phenomenon was sunlight not being strong enough to support plant life, leading to a catastrophe for the environment and life on Earth. Plants, being silent witnesses to climatic changes, recorded signs of harshness in that year. The growth rings of trees shrank, and in some cases, there was no growth at all during the winter months. The cause of the disaster. So, caused this strange event, scientists have proposed several hypotheses to explain this phenomenon. One of the most popular theories is that a massive volcanic eruption released enormous amounts of ash and smoke into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and causing global temperatures to drop sharply. Most researchers believe that a massive volcanic eruption in the tropical region, possibly in Indonesia, caused this event. Volcanoes, when erupting, release large quantities of ash and dust into the atmosphere. These substances rise into the stratosphere and form a dense layer of smoke, blocking sunlight and causing global temperatures to drop. "536 might have been the year when a massive volcanic eruption in Southeast Asia, perhaps in Indonesia, caused this strange event. Studies from ice cores in Greenland and tree growth rings provide evidence that this event was global in scale, affecting more than just one region. The strange winter lasted for many years, and it wasn't just the lack of sunlight, but also a shift in climate that caused crop failures, making many regions of the world unable to produce food. The collapse of civilizations. The consequences of the strange winter of 536 not only affected the environment but also had profound effects on human civilizations. Famine spread widely, and many great civilizations could not survive this disaster. Great cities were abandoned, and millions of people died from food shortages. Ancient civilizations like the Byzantine Empire, the Roman Empire, and other countries faced weakening and collapse due to the effects of the harsh climate. "536 marked a complete transformation in the way humans viewed the world around them. Powerful and developed civilizations could not withstand this disaster. And while humans struggled with famine and disease, they also faced drastic changes in their daily lives. The relationship between the catastrophe and the plague. What's even more terrifying is that, after this event, a plague broke out. The Justinian Plague, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, killed millions of people over the following years. Although the plague occurred after the climate disaster of 536, many scientists believe there is a connection between this strange climate event and the plague. The reason is that, during this period, the living conditions of humans were drastically altered. The bacteria causing the plague thrived in the cooler, sun-deprived environment, leading to the rapid spread of the disease. Thus, the strange winter of 536 wasn't just a climate event, but also a turning point in human history. As people were faced with environmental disasters, the collapse of civilizations, and the spread of terrifying diseases. The consequences of this event didn't just affect humans in the short term, they left a lasting mark on human culture and the way we perceive the natural world. The Strange Winter of 536 Part 2. a strange winter engulfed the planet, lasting for 18 months. This event left indelible marks on Earth's history. Not only did it affect the climate, but it also profoundly changed human society, civilizations, and the way we understand nature. The winter of 536 remains a mystery that, to this day, we cannot fully explain, though scientists have uncovered many clues. In this part, we will delve deeper into the process of discovering the factors that caused this climate catastrophe. From studying traces of ancient civilizations to the link between comets and volcanoes, and exploring the massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia. The beginning of the catastrophe. Around the mid-6th century, a strange climatic event occurred that caused Earth to enter a state never before seen in history. The winter lasted unusually long, and the sky was covered with thick clouds, blocking sunlight. Many regions across the globe were plunged into darkness, severely impacting human life and nature. Great civilizations like the Byzantine Empire, the Roman Empire, and Eastern Asian nations faced a climate crisis like never before. Based on ancient records, it is believed that this winter was not just a short-term event, but a condition that lasted for several years. Researchers have discovered that during this period, plants could not grow as usual. Growth rings in trees, which are recorded in tree samples, showed a lack of sunlight and abnormally low temperatures throughout the year of 536. The growth rings of trees, which usually vary in width depending on the climate each year, became narrow and weak in 536. This suggests that a powerful climatic event occurred, directly impacting plant growth and disrupting the seasons. While civilizations struggled with famine and disease, plant life was also severely affected. Volcanoes and the massive eruption. Among the various theories about the cause of the strange winter of 536, many scientists believe that a massive volcanic eruption was the primary cause of the catastrophe. Through studies of ash and materials ejected by volcanoes, it has been determined that a colossal eruption released an enormous amount of smoke and dust into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and causing global temperatures to drop sharply. Modern researchers have identified that a volcanic eruption occurred in Indonesia, possibly in the region between Java and Sumatra, which caused this climatic event. This area lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, home to many active volcanoes. One of the most prominent volcanoes in this region is Krakatoa, though its famous eruption occurred in 1883. However, geological studies suggest that the eruption in 536 may have taken place at a different volcano in the area. When a volcano erupts, it not only releases a large amount of ash and gases but also spews harmful gases into the atmosphere. These substances rise high into the stratosphere, forming a thick cloud that blocks sunlight and causes global temperatures to drop. '536 could have been the year when a massive volcanic eruption in Southeast Asia, possibly in Indonesia, caused this strange event. Studies from ice cores in Greenland and other cold regions have provided evidence that this event was global in scale, affecting more than just one region. The strange winter lasted for many years, and it wasn't just the lack of sunlight, but also a shift in the climate that caused crop failures, making many regions of the world unable to produce food. Historical traces and scientific evidence. Scientists have found clear traces in historical records and natural samples to prove that volcanic eruptions were the main cause of the 536 climate catastrophe. Ancient records from various civilizations confirm that the sky was covered for an extended period, and people could not see the sun. Ancient historians like Procopius wrote that the sun shone but lacked brightness, resembling the faint light of the moon. This indicates that an extremely severe climatic event took place, causing significant day. In addition, researchers have extracted ice samples from Greenland and other regions to analyze the chemical composition of the air. Long-term impact on human history. The climate catastrophe of 536 not only affected the environment but also caused profound changes in human society. Famine and disease spread widely, and many great civilizations could not survive this disaster. Ancient civilizations like the Byzantine Empire faced weakening and collapse. Meanwhile, large empires like the Roman Empire were also severely affected, diminishing their power and influence in the region. Many cities and villages were abandoned, and people had to live under extremely harsh conditions. Agricultural societies could no longer develop, forcing communities to adapt and seek alternative food sources. These changes led to a large portion of the population migrating to warmer climates, causing local communities to be torn apart. This event also had long-lasting impacts on human culture and civilization. As crop failures continued, people had to find ways to cope with the food shortage. This led to shifts in social structures, where those who could provide food became the most powerful members of society. The link between the catastrophe and the plague. Thus, the strange winter of 536 was not just a natural disaster but also a turning point in human history. People faced environmental catastrophes, the collapse of civilizations, and the spread of terrifying diseases. The consequences of this event didn't only affect humans in the short term, but left a permanent mark on human culture and our understanding of the natural world.